Joe, thanks a lot for meeting with me today about our new company.
Deaver, I'm pleased to. I'm always looking for new opportunities for the bank.
Now, I understand, Joe, from what you told me, we have about half an hour?
That's right.
Okay, that ought to cover it. My objective today is to try to find out what you can do and then not bother you about what you can't.
Okay, fine.
Let me just tell you a little about the business.
Sure.
I gave you a plan.
Right.
But basically, we sell CD-ROMs, and you probably bought them before. What did you pay for them?
$40 to $50 is the average retail. You get a big box, tiny CD, and that's it.
Right, and you look down there for something and nothing's there.
Right.
Right. What's interesting about it is that in our case, what we're doing is we sell each CD in this jewel case for about $10 retail.
Great.
We put together this special promotion where you can get 5 of them in our general interest series for $30 or 4 of them in our professional series for $30. Doesn't that sound pretty good?
Sure.
Well, we think we can sell the general retail on this. Don't you think so?
Sure. Are you selling any of the major retailers right now?
No, the company right now is selling to the distributors.
Okay.
Now, the distributors are selling to retailers.
Okay.
So our plan is to go direct to the end users.
That makes sense.
Well, you don't want to finance distributors, do you?
Well, no, not only that, but it lowers the price and gets you closer to your retail customer.
Right. And the retailers themselves are really the credit-worthy party.
Right.
Right. And distributors have chargebacks, so we don't have all those issues, right?
Right.
And the problem is the distributor, of course, they're caught in the middle.
Right.
And the retailer's not there.
This is a cleaner deal for you.
Cleaner deal.
Okay.
And for you, too,
Sure.
if you were to loan us money. So our plan is to sell people like Staples and Borders and Ames and Sears and people like that.
Major retailers.
Major retailers.
Okay.
And
Ones that I don't have to worry about.
right. Or
Okay.
me either.
Okay.
Now, based on that, what could you loan us on accounts receivable? What is your standard kind of formula?
Our standard runs 60 to 80% of accounts receivable that are under 90 days old.
Now, let me be sure I understand. That means that anything shipped January 1, I can use 60–80% of that money until March 31st.
Right. If it's older than that, then it falls off the table, if you will, and doesn't get calculated in your 60 to 80% range.
Right. So that means I got to get the money collected in that period.
Exactly.
Okay. That's pretty straightforward. What about inventory?
Inventory is an area where you get into UCC regulations, and I don't know if you want to do that. It's probably better if you have your suppliers work with you on terms so that you can obtain credit from them.
I think that makes sense. I've heard that elsewhere,
Okay.
that really what I should do is try for the extra 15 or 30 days from now.
Right.
Right.
Especially for a startup company, they'd be
Right.
willing to work with you if you
Right.
get the right supplier.
And what about equipment, Joe?
That's not an area that I deal with. You'd have to talk to somebody else here at the bank. I can put you in touch with them if you'd like.
Okay. And equity investment for stock, what about that?
Once again, I just do the asset side of things, so you'd have to speak to somebody else, but I'd be happy to put you in touch with them.
So really, from a commercial lending point of view, is it you only do accounts receivable, really?
That's all I do. That's my niche.
Now let me ask you something. Is that true for most banks?
Yes, it is.
So the point is that if we're going to do this, we should focus on what you do, not what you don't do.
Exactly. You've got to get in touch with the right people.
So a lot of reason people have trouble with banks is they get in touch with the wrong people?
Correct.
Okay, well, we're going to try to stay on the right
Okay.
side of you and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'll send you the plan on who the receivables are and so
Okay.
forth, and get this thing to you.
And I'll get the contact names to you.
Good. Thanks
Great.
a lot, Joe. Really appreciate the time.
Thanks a lot. Okay.